How you doing, YouTube family? Day is Monday, September the 29th, 2025. Is your man Big D, and I'm back with another one. Want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land for continuing to rock out with my son and I. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Well, family, I'm back with another video, and I think that you all will find this video very interesting and informative. And basically, it is a street interview that was conducted in the ATL in regards to dating, and particularly in today's modern times and dating today's modern women. And the young man that was interviewed just so happened to be a therapist. And he was able to elaborate and shed some light on why there are issues as it pertains to dating. So without further ado, family, let's go on ahead and see what's going on with this video.
Do you think the women in Atlanta or women in general in 2025 or dating today, like their standards are too high? I've just did a couple of interviews and a lot of the guys is saying, especially for the women in Atlanta, their standards are way too high. They need to come bring it down and just remove all that superficial stuff when it comes to dating in Atlanta.
Yeah, so I'm a mental health therapist, and so I deal with single women all the time. And when they're talking about their dating, I try to tell them like it's not about you; it's about the other person. And so one of the things I ask them is, how did you make that first date that man's best first date? What did you do? What questions did you ask? Did you generally try to get to know him? Did you compliment him? Did you say, "Oh, that's cool"? Not just a interview, not just trying to check off these boxes, but how can I go home to my family or my friend and say, "Bro, that was a great date for me"? And even as I'm conscious about that on my dates, like, did she try to make me feel like that? Or was she here just really for her? And that's okay, but it just means that it's not an investable thing in the long term for myself. So that's something I ask single women all the time. And my best friends too, like, was that man's best first date? And they don't think about that type of things because I'm getting ready. I'm okay. I got my education. I'm making it. I'm self-sufficient. Awesome. And that's amazing, but that doesn't apply to relationships. It's like trying to compare basketball and swimming. Those characteristics don't compete with each other. So this is about, can you connect with somebody? Can you emotionally move them? Can you make them feel safe? Can you make them feel like in this world of chaos that when they come home to you, that they can be at peace? And those other things don't necessarily correlate with that.
So, family, we have to ask ourselves a question about what this young man elaborated on and what he spoke to. So now, the thing that he mentioned about when women go on dates. So it seems in today's time, and not all women, but the vast majority, they feel like that a man should go above and beyond on their very first meeting, their very first date. That's right. You have some women who believe that if a man ain't making the first date elaborate, oh, he's not worth the investment. And the sad part about it is a lot of these women are older women in their 40s over the freaking hill, and they have this mindset that really and truly they should have had when they was in their early 20s, possibly early 30s. So, and not just the older women, because you have the young women nowadays as well. When they go on a date, they trying to vet to see what your pocket's like. That's right. They are. Because if not, they will be okay with a coffee date. They will be okay with going to go, perhaps maybe going, taking a walk on the beach, get some ice cream, going to the movies. Something simple. Man, nowadays, women, you can meet a woman and you don't know her that well. You don't really know her. You ain't been knowing her more than 90 days. And this woman think you ought to take her on some lavish vacation for the weekend. So what the young man said was right. Women, they go into this thing when they vetting a man, because that's what I call it. They're vetting. They go into this thing and they pretty much go into it with, well, you know what? I got my education, I got this, I got my career field, potentially, maybe, because a lot of them don't. A lot of these young chicks, they out at the club stripping. They ain't even got no career, but they still have this idiotic mindset that when a man take them out on a date, he should just go above and beyond. So you have that going on. And you also have the thing where you have men that will go above and beyond, but you have to ask yourself, okay, what type of man is this? Is this some average ass dude? Because I believe this is what I believe. As men, we all have to be responsible and accountable, but we also have to establish a bar. And every man has got to stand on business. And I believe that because you had men who stepped away from their masculinity, you have men that became simps and betas, and they start, simping for the box. Now that gave women the mindset, well, hell, we can act like we want to because there's gonna always be somebody that's gonna put up with the BS. See, in a woman's mindset, there's always somebody for everybody. Okay, yeah, that's true. That is true. There is somebody for everybody, but that don't mean that somebody is is the everybody that you really want to be with. See, yeah, there is somebody for everybody. But if you have a woman that is contentious, disagreeable, masculine as hell, always just it's just always some BS with her. And you as a guy who is alleged successful man, and you not in the scarcity mindset, meaning that you gonna put up with this chick's bullshit just so you can have the opportunity to get some box or have some consistent box. Nah, man. And when men start stepping off the foundation, and those group of men started going over and simping and became betas and got their little testicles clipped and placed their mayonnaise jar in the mayonnaise jar and set up in the cupboard. Well, guess what? This what you have. So now you have women that's like, hey, it's gonna always be somebody who gonna be a taker. So I can show my ass, I can act unruly, unladylike. So now it's no wonder when you dating in 2025, you have women that have the mindset of, well, you know what? It don't matter if I'm a high value woman, a middle of the way woman, or even a YN dusty ass woman. They still believe that a man is supposed to be willing to part ways with his resources, even if it's on the first date. They gonna expect at least $100 or $200 meal. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's just unrealistic. But because men stepped off their square, didn't stay a unified front and say, "Hey, listen, nobody's gonna deal with this. The way y'all acting, the way y'all starting to act out of character, the high value men want to ain't gonna deal with high value or valuable men, however you want to use the term. Regular degular men ain't gonna deal with it. And even the pookies and the little danks ain't gonna deal with it. If everybody would have just stood on a unified front just for a little bit, just held strong for a little bit, maybe things wouldn't be so bad. But because men had to have that nice soft box, them nice soft cheeks, and they saw that perhaps holding a unified front led to, well, now I can't get no cheeks, not the way I want to get them. Well, men start falling off, and here we go. Here we go. Now you have some men who are gonna stay on the unified front. You're gonna have them betas and simps, and they gonna do their thing. So this is where we at, family. So it's no wonder why we have problems in dating in 2025. And like the young therapist said, he tell women all the time, it's not about you on a date. Do y'all think because y'all get your hair done, you got a little body on you, if you got that, or I don't know, you a homeowner or you are degreed, you feel like that it's about you. And I get it. Yeah, men are supposed to be the hunters. We are supposed to be the ones that pursue. Okay, yeah, I totally agree with that. But what I don't agree with is women going on these dates and instead of just going on a date, it ain't about resources and how much money he willing to part ways with. Why can't it just be about getting to know this person? Just get to know him. See what kind of dude he is. And if you are a decent, respectable woman and he is a decent dude, respectable dude, you know what I'm saying? He bought his business, he ain't on no fuckery. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be okay. But if you go into it with this mindset that, oh, I'm owed something, oh, I deserve this, cause in your mind as a woman, you think you sitting on a gold mine, when really and truly what you sitting on is thousands and thousands and thousands of women across the world who sitting on the same thing. So what makes your little poo nanny any different from this Asian chick poo nanny? Or this Middle Eastern woman poo nanny? Or the lady in New York, Miami, Chicago? So my good lady, you gotta understand, ain't nothing special about your box. You gotta stop going into this thing as thinking that, well, you know what? Oh yeah, he gonna have to put in the work. But the problem with this whole putting in the work thing is this. I'm a firm believer if a chick is vibing with a dude, she feeling him, the chemistry is there, he ain't gotta put in nothing. He can be a little pookie and he blowing bikes out like it's no tomorrow. Ain't gotta part ways with no resources. Cause little pookie ain't really got no resources to part ways with. But that's not why he's there. See, man, you gotta be careful. Women take you through these circus ikes and want you to play a damn puppet on the string, and they want you to part ways with your resources. And really and truly, why? What's so special about you? That I should feel okay with part ways with my resources? What have you done? How have you shown me that you're worthy of that, my good lady? So at the end of it, we have to understand this. Dating in 2025 is very difficult. And dating, not all, but most modern westernized women is very difficult. But it ain't just in America. This little thing that we are seeing, women misbehaving and acting out and being reckless and talking like they men and they really not. Um, that we seeing that happen all across the world now. So we are in some end times. We're in some terrible times. And you have to be ever so careful who you pour yourself into, gentlemen, and particularly before you start parting ways with your resources. Because make no beans about it, we are in some terrible times, and now is not the time to just be, just caking it out. Now ain't the time. You need to hold on to your monies, make your investments, and live a frugal life because it's finna get a whole lot worse. And you're gonna find that as it get a whole lot worse, the women that are in the feast of famine, the ones that are on their way to being homeless, the one that got a couple kids from whoever, and it's gonna get to a point that their mindset is going to get even more crazier. It's coming as the economy continues to decline. The more, not all women, but most, their mindset are going as far as being these delusional requests, they're going to continue to elevate. Mark my words. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.